This is the one thing that Xbox needs in order to make their dreams come true. What is up, y'all? I am Ray. This is my channel, Xbox Ready, where we get on and we talk about Xbox stuff. The latest news, rumors, games, accessories, pretty much anything I want to talk about as long as it's about Xbox in some way. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how this seemingly insignificant update has me doing a lot of thinking about what Xbox really needs. And then I'll wrap up the video showing off a very unique accessory that Xbox sent my way. By this point, you probably have heard or seen something about Xbox's current push to go beyond consoles. Now, going beyond consoles used to mean, oh, Xbox is also putting their games on PC. Thinking back on the reaction to that now, it's crazy because people are like, what? That is stupid. If they put all their games on PC, what's the point of buying an Xbox anymore? That was like, what, 2016, 2017? Fast forward a couple of years later, they doubled down on that. They launched Xbox Cloud Gaming. But even when they officially launched the service back in 2021, the assumption was still, no, their priorities are console, PC, and cloud gaming is just kind of like this extra perk that they're throwing in for Game Pass Ultimate. No, the focus was always going to be console and PC. That's their two-pronged attack, which makes sense because, duh, Microsoft Windows, it's a no-brainer. Which is why, again, it was kind of shocking when a couple of years later, they went so hard on the cloud gaming stuff with the This is an Xbox campaign, play Xbox games without a console on your TV, claiming that all of these things were an Xbox, a phone, an iPad, a laptop. As surprising as that This is an Xbox campaign was to a lot of people, they had been quietly laying the groundwork for that as early as 2022 when they announced that partnership with Samsung specifically. Thinking back on it, that decision to put the Xbox app on Samsung TVs through the gaming hub, that was a way bigger deal than I initially thought. Because cloud gaming, up until that point, it was mostly interpreted as, oh, a way to play games on your phone or an iPad or these smaller screens, maybe on a monitor through your computer. But if you wanted to play on a TV, you needed a console for that, for sure, an actual Xbox. With that Samsung partnership, we saw for the first time a way to play Xbox games on a TV without that console. It was limited, sure, only a few select Samsung TVs had access to the cloud gaming app. But hey, it was still possible. I remember in 2022 going to the Game Awards and there was an Xbox mixer beforehand, and they had reps from Samsung with a TV with the Xbox Cloud Gaming app on it, and they were like, yeah, check it out, come play Forza on it. And at the time I was like, this isn't bad. It feels a little bit weird, but it's not bad. It was kind of mind-blowing. It was a little bit overwhelming, like these people wanted me so bad to try out this product. I'm like, I'm just like a regular guy. What do you want me for? Now, I'm not sure why it took so long, but 3 years after the Xbox Samsung partnership, it's making the jump to other TVs, specifically LG models. This is something that they announced last week. Per the Xbox Wire, they say starting today, the Xbox app is available on select LG Smart TV models, making it easier than ever before for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members in over 25 countries to play games directly from their TVs. This rollout includes 2022 OLED TVs, select 2023 LG Smart TVs, and newer models along with smart monitors running WebOS 24 or later versions. It will soon expand to Stand By Me screen. Now, just like we saw with Samsung, they're rolling it out to just a select few LG models. I was excited at first because I have an LG TV literally right behind that camera. I was like, perfect, this will be an easy video, easy content. I just use cloud gaming app through this TV and I talk about my experience. But my TV is too old. It is a 2021 model. It's not an OLED, which is pretty whack because if you open up the LG Gaming Hub on this TV, literally this TV, their competitors have their apps on it already, like GeForce Now. If they can figure it out, why not Xbox? Once again, these other companies are eating their lunch. They're beating them to the punch, which is crazy because, again, cloud gaming seems to be such a big focus for them now. So I was like, okay, I could still make a video about this because technically I can turn any TV, LG, Samsung, Roku, whatever, into an Xbox without the console because I have this, the Amazon Fire Stick. The cloud gaming experience has definitely improved on this thing since I first got it. It's less laggy, the input lag on the controller is definitely better, and also I have access to games that I've bought through the whole Stream Your Own Games initiative. I was interested in busting it out again because as part of this April update that they just rolled out, they said that they were going to support remote play on a lot more devices, including the Amazon Fire Stick, which was super excited to me because I've always preferred remote play to direct cloud streaming. That specifically was game changing to me because in my initial review of the Fire Stick, I came to the conclusion, okay, maybe this won't replace your Xbox, but it is a good secondary option to have if you don't want to spring for a whole nother console. And if I'm able to access remote play through this thing versus just cloud gaming, that becomes doubly true because you're literally just beaming your Xbox to this thing and onto your TV. I was super excited to check it out, but too bad that it's not supported on the app on my Fire Stick yet, even if I enable preview features. On the Xbox Wire, they said that you can access remote play on anything that has an internet browser, which there is one on the Fire Stick. I was able to remote stream from my console to the internet browser, but I wasn't able to interact with my dashboard, play any games. I couldn't do anything. And in this long, convoluted journey, jumping from the LG TV, trying to get the app on there, failing, trying to get remote play working on the Fire Stick, failing, this long, convoluted journey basically made me realize what Xbox needs in order to make their next-gen dreams come true. A universal Xbox dashboard experience that is the same across all of the platforms they offer: PC, Xbox, cloud. Right now, you boot up your Xbox, the dashboard is way different than what you would see if you booted it up on PC and were accessing the Xbox app there. You boot up cloud gaming, same thing. It's way different than what you would see on an Xbox console. You can say that this phone is an Xbox all you want, but the reality is that there are just so many things that I can't do playing Xbox or using the cloud gaming dashboard on my phone that I would be able to do on my Xbox console. It's getting there, like being able to see my friends list and initiate chats through cloud gaming, manage my saves. What about the Xbox Store? What about, I don't know, being able to do something like you would in the mobile app, download and buy games to my Xbox console, but through the cloud gaming interface? Where is the remote play on this thing? They said they were gonna bring it to other devices. I don't see it yet. All of the same things need to be on every version of their ecosystem, combining Windows and the Xbox experience to form like this new hybrid thing. It's widely believed they're doing that specifically for the Xbox handheld, but I would love to see them roll it out to everything, especially if all of these things we're hearing are true, that the next gen Xbox is going to be more like a PC. That alone is a great excuse for them to unify their experience across at least PC and console, but I would like that to extend to cloud as well. How far is it until we get a universal dashboard of some sort? Like if you open up Apple TV, it is the same no matter where you open it up. It is this truly device agnostic thing, which is something that Microsoft seems interested in, given their push to go beyond consoles. Listen, I know that not every Xbox fan is going to be into this. Maybe you're someone that is just like, no, I want to buy my Xbox, plug it in my TV, and that's it. But me, someone who's kind of bought into this vision, someone who uses remote play, cloud gaming, playing my Xbox games on PC and on my console, take them on the go with me on my Ally. That's something that I really want to see. And if they're really committed to this whole thing of like, yeah, being an Xbox fan, it's all about options. It's all about like, you know, cross save, cross progression, taking your games and playing them how you want, when you want. Cool. That's cool. But I would like to stop having whiplash adjusting to different interfaces and different experiences every time I make a jump to a different device. While we're talking about this is an Xbox, everything that they're doing in relation to that campaign, Xbox app coming to LG TVs, I wanted to show off this controller that my friends at Xbox sent my way. They're referring to it as the TIAX controller, short for this is an Xbox. As you can see on the front plate, it says just that, this is an Xbox, although the Xbox part is unfortunately kind of distorted, covered up by this right thumbstick here. The lettering reveals the inside of the controller to a certain degree, gives that translucent flare. This reminds me a lot of the 20th anniversary controller, which I loved. Of course, on that controller, the whole front plate is translucent versus the partial translucency on this. And the note that they gave me, they say that the inside is silver, but obviously it looks green because of that plate. And if I turn over my 20th anniversary controller, The color of the grips, it's the exact same green that you see on the thumbsticks, the back plate, the bumpers on this is an Xbox controller. With the exception of the D-pad and the triggers, those are like a metallic finish. It's really cool. And of course, you flip it over and it says clearly, if you didn't get the message on the front plate, this is an Xbox. Like the 20th anniversary controller, this has rubberized grips too, except they're black. Overall, cool looking controller. Whether you agree with the message or not, agree with the whole this is an Xbox campaign, it makes me wish that I can go into the design lab and put a translucent front plate on a standard wireless controller. I know you can do it with the Elite Series 2, which looks bad. I mean, I just want more like see-through tech. Take me back to the time when see-through tech was king. Obviously, this is a shout out to their latest marketing campaign, but you can almost take it literally too. Like, this controller is kind of an Xbox. They say, thank you for continuing to join us on this journey, whether on console, PC, or cloud. With Xbox, players have the power to choose how and where to play. Our This is an Xbox campaign represents this promise. And just that little blurb right there gives a lot more weight to these rumors that we're hearing about these new prototype controllers that they're working on next generation, some of which will have cloud-centric features like direct-to-cloud connectivity. So this is much more than just, oh, another cool controller for my collection. I'm looking at this controller and it's the one universal thing that you need almost to play Xbox games. Unless you're playing on mouse and keyboard, of course. Going back to this note, it struck me as odd at first because usually when people send you stuff as a creator, it's very curated. It reminded me of the story that we were hearing, I don't know, so at some point, maybe like a year ago, that the Xbox marketing team, I think over in Europe or the UK, had like no money to work with in comparison to their competitors. But it also looks like, I don't know, like someone wrote this out by hand. I'm sure someone didn't sit down and write this specific note to Ray. I'm sure this was just a thing that someone at Xbox marketing wrote and they scanned it and made a bunch of copies and sent it to creators. But the more that I look at it, the more I'm like, this was a nice personal touch. Oftentimes we look at the studios, platform holders, especially Xbox because they're owned by Microsoft, we view them as, okay, yeah, big unfeeling corporation. But under that umbrella, it's like, dang, there are real people putting their heart and soul into whatever job that they're doing at Xbox, whether it's developing games, marketing. I can't speak to the other divisions at Microsoft, but Xbox specifically is made up of people who are passionate about what they do. They want to do good work. And I think it's easy to sit on Twitter, on YouTube, and complain and, you know, oh, how could the developers make this? They're lazy, they don't know how to do their job. Xbox doesn't know what they're doing, they're out of touch with fans, they don't care. And it's like, I think they do care. I think they do care a lot. No one wants to make bad stuff. I say that as someone who works in content creation. I don't get on here and think, oh yeah, I'm gonna make the worst video ever, a video that no one likes. And it's the same with these people who work at Xbox, whether it's in development, no matter what department they're in, they want to do good work. I'm sure when they got that job in the first place, they were so excited. And while the execution of stuff doesn't always work out, this little note reminded me that there are people at Xbox and there are people who work at these companies that do care. Anyways, guys, that's all the Xbox stuff I have to talk about today. Thanks so much for joining me for another edition of Xbox Ready. If you made it this far into the video, consider subscribing. Help me on my journey to 200,000 subs. I am so close. I am like right on the doorstep of 200K, which is crazy. When I first started this channel, I was like, who knows, right? Who knows if this is gonna take off, if anyone's gonna care about this. There's a lot of people in the gaming niche on YouTube and the Xbox niche that have been doing it a lot longer than me, great creators. I thought I'd be lucky to hit 1,000 subs, and when I did that, I was like, whoa, this is the craziest day ever. Now I'm about to hit 200K. That's even wilder. And it's all thanks to you guys. Thanks so much for watching this video again, for joining me on this journey, and we'll see you in the next one.